Judge Mayfield was known for her tough rulings and no-nonsense attitude. People said she was as tough as stone, and she prided herself on being fair but firm. So when a case came across her desk about a man named Aaron Blake being fined for damaging property in an upscale neighborhood, she wasn't expecting anything complicated. As the court session began, Aaron Blake entered, calm and composed. He didn't look like the typical troublemaker Judge Mayfield was used to dealing with. She quickly read through his case file, which painted him as a troublesome character. But when she addressed him, her judgment was already set. "Mr. Blake, I hope you understand the seriousness of the charges," she said sternly, eyeing him with little patience. Aaron replied respectfully, "Your Honor, I believe there's been a misunderstanding. I had permission to be on the property for work, and I did not cause any damage." Judge Mayfield scoffed, dismissing his claim. "Permission for what exactly? I see no misunderstanding here. The evidence is clear, and you are responsible for paying a fine of $110,000. Aaron's face tightened, but he stayed calm. "I'm a federal prosecutor. I was there investigating a case for the Department of Justice," he said, steady as ever. A flicker of surprise crossed Judge Mayfield's face, but she quickly hid it, keeping her composure. "I don't care who you are. The law is the law," she replied. Aaron's expression didn't change. "I understand, Your Honor, but may I present evidence to clear my name?" With an exasperated wave of her hand, Judge Mayfield allowed him to proceed. Aaron passed a file to his attorney, who approached the bench. As Judge Mayfield flipped through the documents, her face grew pale. The papers clearly showed Aaron had been granted official access to the property for his investigation. She was not happy, but she refused to admit her mistake. "Even with these papers, you still caused a disturbance in a high-end neighborhood. Were you aware of the concerns about property damage?" Aaron remained calm. "My work was handled professionally. I also have witnesses who can testify to that." Reluctantly, Judge Mayfield allowed the witnesses to be called. First came Lisa Bennett, a member of Aaron's team, who explained how they'd been careful and documented everything during their investigation. She swore that no damage had occurred. Then came Frank Woods, another investigator, who confirmed Aaron's professionalism and also stated that no damage was caused. But despite the mounting evidence, Judge Mayfield seemed determined to challenge them. That's when Mr. Carlson, the property owner, entered the courtroom. He nervously made accusations, claiming there had been damage. But when Aaron's attorney pressed him on the details, Mr. Carlson faltered. "You didn't see the damage yourself?" the attorney asked. Mr. Carlson stammered, admitting the photos were provided by his assistant, who wasn't even present that day. Aaron's attorney made his case. "So you're basing your accusations on secondhand information?" Carlson's face went pale as he struggled to defend his claims. The courtroom buzzed with whispers, and Judge Mayfield felt the pressure mounting. The evidence clearly pointed to Aaron's innocence, but she wasn't ready to admit she was wrong. After a brief recess, Judge Mayfield returned to the bench, her face tense. She reluctantly addressed the court, admitting, "I've reviewed the evidence and I see no grounds to continue this case. Mr. Blake, I apologize for the misunderstanding. The charges are dismissed." Aaron nodded, his calm demeanor unwavering. But before the court was adjourned, Aaron's attorney requested that Mr. Carlson be investigated for filing false claims. The courtroom was stunned into silence as the tables turned. Judge Mayfield, now visibly shaken, agreed. "Mr. Carlson, your actions warrant further investigation. You've wasted this court's time and tarnished Mr. Blake's reputation." With that, the case was closed, and Aaron was vindicated. As he walked out of the courtroom, a reporter caught up with him, asking for a comment. "Justice was served," Aaron said simply. "Sometimes the truth just needs a little light to shine through." And with that, he left the courthouse, his honor restored, and the lesson learned. Even a judge as tough as Mayfield couldn't ignore the truth forever.